Hi everybody, welcome to Jake Showcase, new videos on Wednesday. I'm going to tell you about my story in New York City and how I learned about what cooked meat actually meant. I was a pretty young guy. I was really excited because it was going to be my very first trip to New York City. Dad said he was going to take me to New York City, the big lights, for the first time ever. I couldn't wait to go. He had been around New York before, so he knew a little bit about Manhattan, about where the different places were that were cool to go, and just wanted to show me around. You know, as a young man, I had always wanted to see it, and I was finally going to get my chance. So we got down there, we got to see Canal Street, we went down to the World Trade Center, we went to Central Park. But one thing that really stood out for me was dinner time. Dad had promised me that we were going to go to a really nice steak dinner that night, and I couldn't wait. Now, I love steak to this day, but it was extra special because my dad was taking me out for my very first restaurant steak dinner. So I was really excited. The whole day was great. We were able to go up and down Canal Street, go to the World Trade Center, just get to see the lights, Broadway, see what it all felt like. It just felt so good. Then dinner time came. We weren't quite exactly sure where to go. Dad knew a couple kind of neat spots around Greenwich Village, but he wasn't quite sure himself. So we decided we were just going to kind of pick around and take a look at what we thought was the right one. He found this one that he was considered really high end. So we were kind of like a lower end, and we decided we were going to go to this, which happened to be down in the basement. I recall the name of this, but there was definitely a dress code. The maitre d' was there in a bow tie, and he wasn't quite sure if he was going to accept us or not, because we were dressed in t-shirts and just regular old clothing. He took a look at us, and he was very skeptical if we were going to be able to pay for it. We could pay for it all right, but it certainly was fancy. Everything was beautiful chandeliers. There was beautiful color. Everybody was dressed to the nines in this beautiful New York steak shop. All the waitresses and waiters had very beautiful gloves on, white gloves, and it was just a very high-class place. Definitely the highest-class place to that point I'd ever been in my life. My eyes were wide as I looked around and soaked it all in. One of the things I remember about it, it was a little bit darker than normal. So it was lighter outside. When we went into this place, it was actually dark. So it was, because it was down in the basement, it was all done with very fine lighting, candles, etc. But the actual atmosphere around was somewhat dark. It was part of the allure of this place. Kind of like a New York steak den. So anyway, eventually the waiter came up to us, and he said to us, okay, so what would you like? You know, I'm just looking down, and my dad said you can pick anything on the menu you want. I'm looking down, and I see like New York steak. I have no idea what the price was. I just saw basically a couple different types of steaks, and the biggest one was down the bottom. And I said, I want that one. I want the New York. I want this beautiful big steak here, the biggest one. Dad, I believed, ordered the same, and he ordered a drink. And then the waiter said to me a question I had never heard before. He said to me, how would you like that done? As an 11-year-old kid, I really had no idea exactly what he was referring to. And I asked him, what do you mean, how would I like that done? Well, how would you like your steak made for you? How would you like to have it done? I'm totally confused. This is a question I had never ever heard before. So I wasn't sure how to answer this question. I looked over at my dad, and I looked back at the waiter, and I was like, what do you mean, how do I want to have it done? Well, would you like to have it rare? Would you like to have it medium? Would you like to have it well done? How would you like to have it done? I looked back up at him with his white gloves on and his bow tie and his tuxedo, and I looked down and I said, well, how do you think I'd like to have it done? Of course I want it well done. I want it really well done. I want it as well done as you've ever made it here. He said, as well done as we've ever made it here. I was like, yes, of course, as well done as you've ever made it. I want the most well done New York steak. I'm really excited about this. Years old, I'm a little squirt here. This is like the moment of my life to be in a New York City, Manhattan steak shop, right, in a fancy place. I couldn't believe it. I was just so excited about being there. Of course, I wanted the best. I wanted it as well done as possible. I couldn't understand what the waiter's concern was. I assured him that I really wanted it well done. It took some time for the steaks to get to us. I was really quite hungry, and I really couldn't quite figure out why it was taking so long for the steak to get finished. Just sitting there, stirring my drink, and I think we had some breadsticks or something. I think I was going to get full on the breadsticks, it was so long. Finally, out came the waiter with the two big dishes there, one for my father and one for myself. We're covered with a metal or some sort of golden metal topping, and he laid both down in front of us. First, he pulled off my father's. Father had a beautiful steak. It was gorgeous, beautiful brown with some nice sides. It looked fantastic. And then he pulled off mine. Sitting in the middle of my plate, down towards the bottom corner, was this big, black, burnt, charcoal piece of something. It was standing there, and I looked at it and went, ew! I had no idea what this was. It's like, I looked at it, and it just was just disgusting, and the whole thing was burnt to heck. It looked like it was they got it right, they got it from inside of the fire. Yes, you're very, 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 very well done steak, sir. I couldn't believe it. I'm looking at this steak, I'm like, oh my goodness. So I thought, well, it would cost a lot of money, so I had to eat it. So I tried to get my knife into it, and fork barely even saw into it, and the thing was totally burnt. I took a little tiny taste, and I was like, ugh. Meanwhile, my father enjoyed his steak with a big smile on his face. He was loving it. His looked great. He's like, Dad, yours looks really, really good. Do you mind if I have a taste? Well, I think when the waiter came around again, my father explained to him that I really had no idea exactly what I was talking about with the steak. And between them and the restaurant, they decided that they were going to, they brought me out another steak, which was, cooked appropriately. But that was definitely a hardcore wake-up call about that there's an actual way to cook. I don't know the whole menu or the range there, but I know that there's rare, right? Then there's medium rare, there's medium well, and well done. So basically, the more higher up it gets, the more they cook it on the grill. I still have to say, even to today, I like the medium well is my favorite type. But I'll never ever order again the very, 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 very well done steak in my life. Hope you like that. Thanks for watching Jake Showcase, everybody. Don't forget to like the video below and subscribe to the channel up above. I do my videos on Wednesdays, and I hope you have a wonderful day.